गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाचा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा कुर्वे सेवाञ्च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम् यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्नि ह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारं विन्दते नात्र संशयः. सर्वेभ्यः स्वागतम्. So we are meeting after a brief gap, and there was a bit of homework assignments that were given. So we will discuss that today. Let's start with the 20th exercise, Vimshatitama Abhyasa. लङ् लकार विषये अस्ति. अधोलिखितान् धातून् परस्मैपदिनः उत आत्मनेपदिनः इति परिशील्य लट् लकारे लङ् लकारे च रूपाणि लिखत. So we have listed out a few dhatus, and first is you need to identify whether the verb is parasmai or is it atmane, and then you need to write the forms first in present tense, which is also called as lat lakara, and then in past tense, which is also lang lakara. So one point that I would like to make here is the dhatus, what we have listed down, some of them are not the original forms of the dhatus. Okay, so some of the places what we have given you is the usable form of the dhatu. The original form could be completely different, but you may probably not be able to recognize the Kriya Padam if the original dhatu was given, especially the new learners and people who are learning Sanskritam for the first time, which is why we've given the usable form so that you are able to recognize which is the dhatu we are referring to. For example, if you say karoti, then kr is the usable form from where kr you get karoti, akarot, etc. But the original form of the dhatu would be dukrinya. If one were to write dukrinya in the Abhyasa, then quite a few students might find it difficult to recognize which is this dhatu. So which is why we have given the usable form, or rather at places the recognizable form. So what is it that you find evident at the outset? That is what we have given. Okay. So with that we'll go forward. So Bhute Lang Lakara is the title, under which Gam is the recognizable form. Kindly note that this particular dhatu is Gaml, is the way the dhatu is listed in the dhatu patha. But I have not written Gaml, rather Gam, because then that's a more recognizable form that you will be using. Yeah. So let's see who would like to start. Okay. And Mary Ji, I've recovered it. Yeah. Yeah. So first is I would request you to recognize whether it's a parasmaipadi dhatu or is it an atmanepadi dhatu.
It is a parasmaipadi dhatu.
Yes, it is a parasmaipadi dhatu. Yeah. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible very well.
Yeah, right. So it's a parasmaipadi dhatu. So first, let's look at the Vartamana Kala, which is the present tense, which is known as Lat Lakara. So Lat is the technical term one would use, the present tense form. So would you like to go for it?
Yes. Gacchati, gachatah, gacchanti, gacchasi, gachatah, gachatha, gacchami, gachavah, gachamah.
Samyak. So, gachati. Oh, 1 second. Gachati, gachatah, gachanti, gachasi, gachatah, gachatha, gachami, gachavah, gachamah. Now, bhute, that is a past tense, which is called as lang lakara. Could you give the forms, please?
Agachat, agachatam, agachan, agachah, agachatam, agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama.
Samyak. Agachat, agachatam, agachan, agachah, agachatam, agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama. Samyak. Dhanyavadah, Anne Mary ji. Kindly mute yourself, please.
Dhanyavadah.
Yeah. So we go to the next one. Just keep your hand lowered. Lakshmi Jairam.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste. So the dhatu is labh. Is it parasmai or is it atmane?
Atmanepadi.
Samyak. 1 second. There's a question here. What is a lang lakara table for agachati and anayati, which starts with a or agachati, anayati? The forms for agachati, anayati will be the same as gachati, but yeah, I'll just discuss that. Let me just finish the exercise and do remind me to discuss that. Yeah, labh is atmane. Yes, please go ahead. So we will start first with the vartamane form, the lat lakara form. Yeah.
Labate, labete, labante, labase, labete, labatve, labe, labavahe, labamahe.
So the entire table, Lakshmi ji, the dhatu is labh. So the bhakara needs a mahaprana, which you are not clearly giving. I would request you to please focus on the mahaprana in bha. Labhate. It's not labhate, it's labhate.
Labate.
So you labhate.
Labhate.
Yeah. So you need to, see what tends to happen is when you are told that you need to give the mahaprana, say in the second letter, subconsciously the mahaprana goes to the third letter, ta. Okay. So you have to focus and concentrate on where you are putting the stress.
Okay.
Get my point? So labhate, it should not sound like labhathe. That's wrong.
Okay.
So labhate, give the mahaprana for the letter which is asking for it. Yeah? Okay. Now we can go to the bhutakala form, the past tense form, lang.
Alabhat, alabathe tam.
No. So dvitiya vachana is incorrect. Dvivachana form, alabhat. Then second is
alabatham. Alabetham.
Alabhat, alabhetam, alabhanta.
Alabantha, alabatha, alabetam, alabatvam.
Lakshmi ji, I would request, if it's okay with you, can I say it out and could you do the anucharanam after me, please?
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Alabhata, alabhetam, alabhanta.
Alabatha, alabe, alabathata.
1 second. Alabhata.
Alabhatha.
No, the 1 second, Lakshmi ji. Your mahaprana is going and sitting on takara. It should be on the bhakara. So, alabhata.
Alabhatha, alabhata.
Alabhata.
Alabhata. Alabhetam.
See, do you realize it's sitting on the takara? It should not sit there. You need to work on that. Alabhetam, alabhanta,
alabantha, alabathaha, alabetham, alabatvam, alabhe, alabavahi,
alabhavahi, alabhavahi.
alabhavahi, alabhamahi.
Yeah, so clearly there is a lot more of practice that will be required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dhanyavada, very good
Okay,
attempt.
thank you. Yeah.
Next one. Yeah, Jyotsna ji, bhavati asti, we will do it a little later. Everything will have Madhyama Purusha and Uttama Purusha. As we go forward, we will do it. Yeah. What is written here? Why is Sang given in the book as Gitavan instead of Agayat? I don't understand what you have written, Jyotsna ji. Page 57-7. 1 second. So we've not covered page 57 yet, no? 1 second. Page 57. Where is it? Page 57. Page 57-7. What is 7 in page 57? 1 second. Gitavan. Hyaha Vadi Raja. Yeah, Gitavan is another form. So you will learn about it later on in Pravesha itself. Please wait for it. Okay, so it's called as a Tavattu. That's another past participle. You will learn about it. Agayat is the verb form, the lakara, and Gitavan is a past participle about which you will learn in the further lesson. Yeah. So there was a question that on page 57, the 7th sentence, here Vadirajaha Gitavan. Yesterday Vadiraja sang. So what is Gitavan and what is the difference between Gitavan and Agayat is the question. So Agayat is the verb form. Gitavan is a past participle form about which you will learn further on in your Pravesha. Yeah. Bhavati and Asti will come. It will be covered. So just wait for that. Okay. Langlakara table for Agachati and Anayati. So there what will happen is there's this simple Sandhi Karyam. Actually, it's a little more than that. So it will be Agachat. So it will go with the Akara. We'll just finish the Yachati. Will cover that. Yeah. So who answering Yacha? 1 second. Yeah, Bhavati we will do later on. I'm just clearing the queries. Yeah, it will be better. This I'll be changed. Sorry, little bit of a delay there. Padma Ayyagari. Padma ji.
Bhagini.
So Yacha, is it Parasmai or is it Atmani?
This is Parasmai Pari.
This is Parasmai Pari. So yeah, so would you kindly give the present tense forms, Lakara forms?
Yes. Bhagini. Yachati, Yachataha, Yachanti, Yachasi, Yachataha, Yachatha, Yachami, Yachavaha, Yachamaha. Bhutakara.
And yeah,
Lang lakara. Ayachat, Ayachatam, Ayachan, Ayachaha, Ayachatam, Ayachata, Ayacham, Ayachava, Ayachama.
Samyak. Kindly mute yourself. So yes, so these forms, my request to all of you is please begin memorizing, because right now there is very little that you need to memorize. It will get very easily, you'll be able to memorize it. So begin memorizing these forms, it's important. So there is a question about 2 Kriya Padams. One is Agachati, which is to come, and Anayati. Now, both these are Parasmaipadi dhatus. So, Gachati, Gachataha, Gachanti, Gachasi, Gachathaha, Gachatha, Gachami, Gachavaha, Gachavaha is the present tense form. For Agachati, for agacha, it will be agachati, agachataha, agachanti, agachasi, agachatha, agachatha, agachami, agachavaha, agachama. Okay. In past, it will be agachat, agachatam, agachan, agachaha, agachatam, agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama. Okay. So the a, which is a prefix, and the a, which is part of your past tense, if you see my cursor over here, both of them get together and then a takes over, so it will be a. Similarly, nayati is also parasmai, so it will be anayati, anayataha, anayanti, anayasi, anayathaha, anayatha, anayami, anayavaha, anayamaha. Okay. In past, it will be anayat, anayatam, anayan, anayathaha, anayatam, anayata, anayam, anayava, anayama. I hope that clears your doubt, Jyotsna ji. These are the forms with the upasargas, with the prefixes a to the two dhatus gacha and naya. Ni prapane, nayati is the present tense form. Right? We'll move forward to the next one. We have lots to do today. So, yat dhatu. Okay. Sarita ji, would you like to please attempt it?
Namaste.
Namaste. Is it Atmane or is it
Yata, it's
Parasmai?
Atmane Padi Dhatu.
Atmane. Present tense form?
Yatate, Yatete, Yatante, Yatase, Yatethe, Yatadhve, Yate, Yatavahe, Yatamahe.
Samyak. Langi Rupam?
Ayatata, Ayateta, Ayatanta, Ayatathaha, Ayatetham, Ayatadhvam, Ayate, Ayatavahi, Ayatamahi.
Samyak. Samyak. Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself. Vad. Again, very important dhatu, very commonly used. Dr. Vijayalakshmi?
Ram Bhagini.
Ram. Yes. Vad, is it Atmane? Is it Parasmai?
Parasmai Padi Dhatu.
Parasmai Padi. Vartamane lati rupam vadati va?
Vadati, Vadataha, Vadanti, Vadasi, Vadathaha, Vadatha, Vadami, Vadavaha, Vadamaha.
Past tense?
Avadat, Avadatam, Avadan, Avadat, Avadaha, Avadatam, Avadat, Avadam.
Avadatta. In Madhyama Purusha Bahuvachana, it is Avadatta.
Avadatta, Avadam, Avadava, Avadama.
Samyak. Dhanyavadaha. Can we have some more people who haven't attempted so far to please attempt? Kindly mute yourself, Doctor. Yeah. So let's have a few more people come forward, please. Those who haven't attempted so far. Chaya Vaidya. Chaya ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Vartha is Atmane Padi.
Atmane. Yes.
So it will be Lat Lakara will be Varthate, Varthete, Varthante, Varthase, Varthethe, Varthathve, Varthe, Vardhavahe, Vardhamahe.
Samyak. Langi Rupam.
Lang Lakara Avardhat, Avardhata, Avardhetam, Avardhanta, Avardhathaha, Avardhetham, Avardhatvam, Avardhe, Avardhavahi, Avardhamahi.
Samyak. Avardhe, Avardhavahi, Avardhamahi. Samyak. Dhanyavadaha, Chaya ji. Kindly mute yourself. Yes. Sita Raman Mahoday.
Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Varta.
Atmanepadi. Vartate, vartete, vartante, vartase, vartete, vartadve, vartavahe, vartamahe.
Samyak. Langi?
Avartata, avartetam, avartanta, avartataha, avartetam, avartadvam, avarte, avartavahi, avartamahi.
Samyak. Bahu samyak. Uttamam, Mahoday. Very well pronounced. Dhanyavadah. Kindly mute yourself, please. We will now go to the next one. Vas dhatu. This is also one of the important dhatus as you go forward. Shri Lata ji.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Vas. Is it Parasmay? Is it Atmane?
It is a Parasmay Padidhatu.
Yes.
Okay. So, first I have to tell the present tense. Lat lakara.
Yes. Yes. Lat lakara rupam first.
Vasati, vasataha, vasanta, vasasaha, vasata.
Sorry, could you come again, please?
Sorry, ma'am. I'll tell you. Vasati, vasataha, vasanta, vasasi.
Vasanti. 1 second. Vasati, vasataha, vasanti.
Yeah.
It sounded like Vasanta, which is why I just interrupted. Vasanti.
Yeah.
Huh.
Vasati, vasataha, vasanti, vasasi, vasataha, vasata, vasami, vasavaha, vasamaha.
Yes. And in past tense, bhute, langi.
In Langlakara, it is avasat, avasatam, avasan, avasaha, avasatam, avasatam, avasata, avasam, avasava, avasama.
Madhyama purushasya rupani punah ekavaram vadati va?
Yeah. Avasaha, avasatam, avasata.
I thought I heard something else.
No,
Right.
I made a mistake.
There were, okay. So please practice and please start memorizing. The reason why I am saying this over and over and again is because in Pravesha, there is a huge amount of tables to be memorized. So the sooner we begin the easier stuff, then the more lengthier stuff will, you will get time to spend. So get these things, totally into your memory so that you have time to, Shabdarupas and all is quite a bit that has to be memorized. So which is why I'm saying that. Thank you, Srilata ji. Kindly keep yourself muted, please. Shivakami.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. So for you, I am giving a pa, and why I have written pibba in the bracket is because pa, there are two pa dhatus. Okay, one meaning to drink and the other meaning is to protect. Pati. So I am not meaning pati. Here I am meaning the sense of drinking. So first of all, is it Parasmay? Is it Atmane?
It is Parasmay Padi.
Parasmay Padi. And present tense form, that is lat lakare rupam katham asti?
Pibati, pibataha, pibanti, pibati, pibataha, pibatha, pibami, pibavaha, pibamaha.
Samyak. Langi api rupam vadati va?
Apibat, apibatam, avan, apibaha, apibatam, apibat.
Apibatta. Apibatta la. Apibatta.
Okay, that halan is not there. Okay.
Halant is not there. That's the most. See, because if you have halan, can you see the prathama purusha ekavachana form?
Yeah.
That has, so the difference between prathama purusha ekavachana and madhyama purusha bahuvachana is only that small stroke below ta.
Okay.
Which is why spelling in writing as well as pronunciation is so critical in Samskrita Bhasha.
Yeah.
If you forget this stroke while writing, then you are changing the Purusha also, the Vachana also.
Oh.
From Ekavachana, you will jump to Bahuvachana if you don't write that stroke
yeah,
below.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And then apibam, apibava, apibava, apibama.
Apibhava, apibhama. Samyak. Samyak. Very good. So like I said, there are two dhatus which are pa. You may mute yourself, Shivakamiji, please. So there are two dhatus with pa. One is pati, okay, and the other is pibati. Both of them start with pa. Kindly mute yourself, Shivakamiji, please. So next one, shall. Shall. I would request. Yeah, 1 second. She needs to mute. Yeah. Okay. Sanjeev Mahoday, Sanjeev Kakkar.
Yeah, namaskar ji.
Namaskar. Kshal iti rupamasti. Dhatu kshala asti. But the usable form is kshala, which is why I have given that. Yeah.
This is Parasmay Shalyati, Shalyata, Shalyanti, Shalyasi,
No, Sanjeev Mahoday. It is kshalayati.
Shalayati,
It's not kshalya. When you say kshalya, you are changing the sense of usage. You are going from active voice to passive voice. You have to be careful.
Let me try again.
It is kshalayati.
Shalayati, Shalayatah, Shalayanti.
Kshaalayanti. Kshaalayanti. Ucharane kinchit avagamanam avashyakam asti. Please focus on your ucharanas because they will be different from Hindi or Marathi or any other language that uses the Devanagari script. So you'll have to focus a little bit when the pronunciation is in Sanskritam. Yeah? Yeah.
Right.
Please go ahead.
Shalayasi, Shalyatha, Shalyatha.
Kshalayatha, kshalayatha.
Shalayatha, Shalayatha. Shalayami, Shalayavah, Shalayamah.
Okay. Another point that I would bring to your notice is it's sounding like sha, which is murdanya shakara, but here this is a gunitakshara of kakara and shakara. So you have to, both have to be audible.
Right.
Only this is being audible. The kakara is not being audible. So I would request you to focus on the pronunciation of ksha versus sh. This is ksha and this is sh, and they are completely different.
Got it.
This is a consonant and this is this thing. It's a conjunct consonant. It's a combination of two consonants.
Got it.
Yes, sorry. We can go to the past tense form. Lang lakara rupam.
Yeah. Akshalyat, akshalyatam, tam, akshalyatam.
So akshalayata, akshalayat, akshalayatam, akshalayan.
Right. Akshalayat, akshalayatam, akshalayan. Akshalayah,
Akshalayah, akshalayah, akshalayah,
akshalayatam, akshalayat.
Akshalayata. So here you see again, see this word which is Prathama Purusha Ekavachana and Madhyama Purusha Bahuvachana. You see the difference? The only difference is this one halanta stroke which is there. Which is why the pronunciation of Akshalayat and Akshalayata has to be distinctly audible to the listener.
Right.
Yeah? Yes. Sorry, I had to just interject. Yes,
No,
continue.
that's very
Please
clear.
continue.
Akshalayam,
Hmm.
Akshalayav, Akshalayav, Akshalayama.
Akshalayava, akshalayama. Samyak, samyak, Mahoday. Just these small things which it comes out of habit, which we will have to consciously work on, because pronunciations are absolutely critical in Samskrita Bhasha. Dhanyavadah.
Thank you.
Samyak. Yeah. Narayanan Mahoday. N. Narayanan. Namaskar. Shlag, to praise. Parasmaiva, Atmaneva.
Atmanepadi.
Present tense form.
Shlagate, shlagete, shlagante. Shlagase, shlagete, shlagatve. Shlage, shlagavahe, shlagamahe.
Okay. Langi Rupam.
Ashlagata, ashlagetam, ashlaganta. Ashlagathaha, ashlagetham, ashlagadvam. Ashlage, ashlagavahi, ashlagamahi.
So, Vahi, Mahi, the Hrasva Ikara, make it really audible as Hrasva. Okay. So, consciously, we should not pronounce something that sounds between a Hrasva and a Dirgha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dhanyavadah Mahoday. Samyak vadati. Well said. Kindly mute yourself. I'll move forward. There's a question in the beginning. Yeah, unless and until you raise your hand, I'm not going to call Geeta ji. Okay, this is a tough one. Lakshmi Rama Subramanyam. Lakshmi ji.
Namaste. Namaste ji. Can you hear me?
Namaste. I can hear you. There's a little break,
Okay.
but I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
So
network issue is
try.
there.
Yeah, I know. Even I'm having network issues off and on. So try is the dhatu, but what we use is try. That's why I put that in the bracket. Yeah. Is it
Okay.
Atmane or is it Parasmai?
This is Atmanepadi.
Atmanepadi. So Vartamana Kale Rupani Vadanti va?
Yeah. Trayate, trayete, trayante. Trayate, trayete, trayadve. Traye, trayavahe, trayamahe.
Samyak. Langi Rupani Vadanti va?
Atrayata, atrayetam, atrayanta. Atrayathaha, atrayetam, atrayadvam. Atraye, atrayavahi, atrayamahi.
Samyak. So here you need to focus Madhyama Purusha Dvivachana Rupam Atraye Tham. The Thakara Mahaprana, you just have to focus. Otherwise, all of the pronunciations were very good.
Okay, thank you.
Samyak, Samyak. Kindly mute yourself, please. Save is the next dhatu. So let's have a lot more people come forward, those who haven't attempted so far. Rajiv Mahoday, Rajiv ji, Rajiv Rajalingam.
Namaste.
Namaste. Save dhatu. Parasmaiva, Atmaneva.
It is Atmanepadi.
Yes.
Save,
Present tense form.
Save,
yes. Yes.
to serve. Sevate, sevete, sevante. Sevase, sevethe, sevadve. Seve, sevavahe, sevamahe.
Samyak. Langi Rupani Vadanti va?
Asevat, asevatam.
First one, Prathama Purusha Ekavachana Rupam kim asti?
Asevata.
Asevata.
I think I told wrong. It should be asevata.
Asevata.
Asevata. Asevatam. Asevanta.
Asevanta.
Asevanta. Asevathaha. Asevetham. asevadvam, aseve, asevavahi, asevamahi.
Even the Prathama Purusha Dvivachana form, I am not sure whether I heard the ekara or not. I'm presuming you would have said it and I may have missed it. Asevetam.
Asevetam.
Okay. Yeah. But very good. Very, very well pronounced, Rajiv Mahoday. Dhanyavada. Kindly keep yourself muted, please. So, gai, again, the actual dhatu is gai, but what we use is gaya. Okay. Krishnan Mahoday. Krishnan Mahoday?
Hello.
Krishnan, yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Sorry, Parasmaipadi.
Parasmaipadi. So, Vartamane
Gayati, Gayataha, Gayanti, Gayasi, Gayataha, Gayatha, Gayami, Gayavaha, Gayamaha. Put it on the screen.
Yeah. Langi Rupani?
Gayat, Gayatam,
Akara na shruyate. Agayat. Agayat na. Ek nimisham Mahoday. Agayat nasti. Agayat asti.
Oh.
See, because you are not to pronounce this halantam. Agayat. Because when you say agayat, it is Madhyama Purusha Bahuvachana form.
Agayata, I will say that.
This is, no, agayata is not how it's pronounced. This is agayat.
Okay. Agayat.
Agayat. Agayatam.
Agayan. Agayaha. Agayatam. Agayata. Agayam. Agayava.
Agayava.
Agayava. Agayama.
See, like when you say agayan, you are pronouncing correct? Same way, agayat. Same way. The way you pronounce agayan or agayatam, you stop with Same way, agayat. That's where we stop. So there is a tendency for a lot of people to say agayatu, but actually it would not be the right way to pronounce.
Okay.
Yeah, even in the shlokas, people tend to do that. That wouldn't be correct.
In just for clarification, in Vedam, when we say there will be a dot sometimes, not every time, but at the end of the line, it will full stop. We are supposed to say agayat. But when in the middle of the sentence there will be a dot after the halant. That if the dot is there, then we have to say that. Specifically, we have to say that, and then start. And that dot comes only when there is a rule that the next letter, if it is a vowel and all that in the sentence, then that it has to go. Otherwise, not. Just sharing. That's all. So maybe I got into that habit. And
Yeah. It tends to happen. Actually, Vedas traditionally, when they were taught, it was always from the Acharya to the Shishya by mouth. So this printing techniques have come much later, where they put a dot and all that. The other thing that they mark is your Udatta Anudatta Swarita. That is also marked.
Yes.
Right. So so that tends to happen. But when we look at Sambhashana Sanskritam, it has to be agayat. Agayat and then agayata. So that people tend to carry forward that into the pronunciations in Sambhashana Sanskritam also. That tends to happen. Yeah. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself, please. Yeah. Creed is the next dhatu. 1 second. Priya ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Yeah. Creed dhatu, to play.
Creed dhatu is Parasmaipadi.
Samyak. Present tense forms.
लट् लकार टेबल क्रीडति क्रीडतः क्रीडतः क्रीडन्ति क्रीडसि क्रीडतः क्रीडथ क्रीडामि क्रीडावः क्रीडामः
सम्यक् लङि रूपाणि
लङ् लकारः अक्रीडत् 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 अक्रीडताम् अक्रीडन् अक्रीडः अक्रीडतम् अक्रीडत अक्रीडम् अक्रीडाव अक्रीडाम
सम्यक् सम्यक् धन्यवादः. Kindly mute yourself please. Mr is the next dhatu. Okay, mar is the form that you see. Yeah, Padmavati ji.
राम राम भगिनी श्वः अहं प्रवेश परीक्षा लेखिष्यामि.
आं वा? समीचीनं. विशिंग यू ऑल द बेस्ट.
कृपया
उत्तीर्णा भवति एव, निश्चयेन भवति.
धन्यवादः.
वदति वा?
परस्मैपदी धातु.
धातु धातु
धातु परस्मैपदी
धातु
धातु. लट् लकारः मारयति मारतः मारयन्ति मारयसि मारयथः मारयथ मारयामि मारयावः मारयामः.
Past tense.
Past tense. अमारयत् अमारयताम् अमारयन् अमारयः अमारयः अमारयत् अमारयतम् अमारयतन् अमारयत अमारयाम् अमारयम्
अमारयम्
अमारयम् अमारयाव अमारयाम.
सम्यक्. In Vartamana Kala, can you just give the Prathama Purusha forms? Can you just read out once again?
Marayati, Marayataha, Marayanti.
Marayanti. It sounds like Marayandi. You have to consciously pronounce it clearly as Marayanti and not Marayandi.
Okay. Yeah?
That's why I was constantly trying to strain this thing. I thought, that Dakara is coming. You have to consciously pronounce it as Marayanti and not Marayandi. Samyak. Samyak. Shubham Bhuyat, Padmavati ji.
Thank you.
Yeah, kindly mute yourself, please. Yeah. So, Drish is the dhatu and Pashya is the form that we use. Right? So, let's see who's going for it. Vatsalaji, I am not able to see your hand raised. Vijay Mohoday, your hand was lowered again. Yeah, Vatsalaji, your hand is not raised. Yeah. Vijay Mohoday, I've requested you to unmute.
Yes, namaste.
Namaste. Yeah. So, Drish is the dhatu.
Pashya, it's a parasmaipadi dhatu.
Yes.
Pashyati, pashyataha, pashyanti, pashyasi, pashyat, pashyataha, pashyata, pashyami, pashyavaha, pashyamaha.
Pashyavaha, pashyamaha. Samyak. Langi rupani vadanti va? Vadanti va?
Apashyat, apashyatam, apashyan.
Apashyan.
Apashyan. Apashyat, apashyaha, apashyatam, apashyata, apashyam, apashyavaha, apashyama, apashyava. Apashyama.
So the is sounding like a. The
Okay.
when you see here, no, apashyat, it is a.
Okay.
And it is sounding like which is dirgha. So consciously you need to work to pronounce this as a.
Thank you, ma'am.
Like in a game, right? When you pronounce a before a consonant, it's a, right?
Yes.
So that's the pronunciation you need to give over here. Apashyat, apashyatam, apashyan. Yeah? Otherwise, it's extremely well pronounced, Mahoday.
Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha.
Namaste.
Kindly mute yourself, please. Priyanka Gupta.
Namaskar, Bhagini.
Namaskar. Hr, hara is the form. Hr is the original dhatu. So is it parasmay? Is it atmane?
Parasmay padi.
Samyak. Vartamane kale?
Harati, haratah, haranti. Harati, haratah, haratha. Harami, haravah, haramah.
Samyak. Bhutakale rupani kimasti?
Aharat, aharatam, aharan, harah, ahartam, aharat,
aharata, aharata,
aharata, aharam, aharava, aharama.
Samyak, samyak. Do make it a point to memorize these forms, Priyanka ji. It will be very helpful as we go forward.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. Yeah. One second. Let's look at someone who's not attempted so far. Vatsala ji.
Namaste ji.
Namaste. Bhash is the. No, there are a lot of students, right? Bhash is your dhatu. Is it parasmay? Is it atmane?
Parasmay padi.
Bhash is parasmay. Think it over, please.
Bhash. It must be an atmane padi.
If it's not parasmay, it has to be atmane, right? Yeah. So vartamana kale rupani vadati.
Bhashati, bhashate, bhashanti.
Think it over. If it is atmanepadi, how will the forms go?
Our bhashate.
So tell me the entire grid.
Yeah.
Bhashate, bhashete, bhashante.
Bhashese, bhashete, bhashate.
No. Vatsala ji, ek nimisham. You are giving the form that you're giving is incorrect. I would request if you could repeat after me. Yeah. Bhashate, bhashete, bhashante.
Bhashate, bhashete, bhashante.
Bha mahapranasti. Bhashase. One second. Bhashase, bhashethe, bhashadve.
Bhashese, bhashete,
bhashase. Atra ekara nasti. In Madhyama Purusha ekavachanam, there is no bhashese. It is bhashase.
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 Bhashase. Bhashase. Bhashete, bhashadve.
Bhashethe. Madhyama Purusha dvivachanam. Bhashethe. Mahaprana.
Bhashete. Bhashedve.
Bhashadve.
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 Bhashe. Bhashavahe. Bhashamahe.
Your pronunciations have to be worked on, Vatsala ji. When you say it fast, you are forgetting the Mahaprana of Bhakara. So that's the feedback I'll give you, that please work on your pronunciations. Would you attempt the lung forms, or would you like to repeat it after me?
I'll repeat after you.
Okay. Abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta.
Abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta.
Abhashataha, abhashetam, abhashadvam.
Abhashetaha, abhashetam, abhashadvam.
Abhashataha.
Abhashataha.
You're putting the ekara in the ekavachana rupam in madhyama purusha throughout. So be careful, because you will lose marks otherwise. Abhashe, abhashavahi, abhashamahi.
Abhashe, abhashavahi, abhashamahi.
So please memorize this, Vatsalaji. That's the feedback I'll give you. Please focus a lot on your pronunciations. So these two feedbacks is what I will give you. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly keep yourself muted, please. Yeah. Kindly mute yourself. Yugal Goenka.
Ram Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram. Khad dhatu parasmaiva atmaneva.
Parasmai padi. Khadatu.
Vartamane.
Lang lakar. Utane khadati.
Lati asti.
Khadati, khadata. Khadanti.
Khadataha. Khadanti.
Khadanti. Khadasi. Khadataha. Khadata. Khadami. Khadavaha. Khadamaha.
Khadamaha. Samyak. Past tense. Lang lakare.
Past tense. Akhadat. Akhadatam. Akhadan. Akhadaha. Akhadatam. Akhadata. Akhadam. Akhadava. Akhadama.
Akhadama. Samyak. Samyak asti. Samyak asti. Please begin memorizing the forms, Mahoday, because there is a lot to be memorized in Pravesha.
Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha. Dhanyavadaha. Anyone who has not attempted so far, please come forward. Yugal Mahoday, kindly mute yourself, please. Yeah. So anyone who's not yet attempted so far, please come forward, because this is really a good practice for all of you. Yeah. Jyotsna ji. Jyotsna Bhagini.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. So gra is the original dhatu, but the form that you are familiar so far is jigra. So I wrote it as jigra in the bracket. Yeah. So parasmaiva, atmaneva.
Parasmai padima.
Okay. So lati rupani vadanti va. Vadati va.
Jigrati, jigrataha, jigranti, jigrasi, jigrataha, sorry, jigrataha, jigratha, jigrami, jigravaha, jigramaha.
Bhutakale.
Ajigrat, ajigratam, ajigran, ajigraha, ajigratam, ajigrata, ajigram, ajigrava, ajigrama.
Samyak, samyak, samyak. It's very well done.
I have a few doubts, but I'll ask one doubt right now, if it's okay. Ma'am, why is it parasmai padi and padinaha? Why is it not parasmai padam? What is the difference?
It is not padam because it is a nakaranta shabda. So the bahuvachana form is padinaha. You will learn about the rupas with different ending words later on as you go forward in Pravesha. You will learn about what is an akaranta shabda, what is an akaranta shabda, ikaranta shabda, ukaranta shabda. You will learn about it in Pravesha as you go forward. So this is a nakaranta shabda.
Nakaranta, and that is why it is padinaha.
Yeah, the forms will be different. Yeah. So there are sakaranta shabdas, nakaranta shabdas, where in the prathama vibhakti ekavachana form, it will look like it is e or u, but actually it will not be.
So the singular is padinaha and the plural is padi.
Padi is singular, padinaha is plural.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, I have many silly doubts like this. So I'll ask
Not
it
a
later.
problem. Please feel
Complete
free to ask. It's not a problem. Please feel free. To the best extent possible, we will try to clarify.
Thank you so much, ma'am. After the class concludes, I'll ask a few more, ma'am.
Sure. We have 10 more words to go. Let's quickly finish these and then we will take up doubts. Yeah, no problem. Dhanyawada. Yeah. Anyone who's not attempted so far, please come forward. Yeah. Satyavani. Satyavani ji, your hand went down then.
Some problem I think I have kept my hand raised since beginning.
I have not been able to see it at all. I am scrolling up and down to search for people who I haven't called so far.
I was just wondering what happened because I didn't get the Abhyasa also this time.
Abhyasa is on the website. You just have to go to the dashboard. If it is there on the dashboard for one person, it is there on the dashboard for everybody.
No, about the class today, having the class also, it was not,
the notification. You mean the notification?
No notification, no, nothing I got. So I was...
I will check. I will just check with the team. It shouldn't be missed out. I'll check with the team. Please check your spam folder also. Sometimes it goes into the spam folder.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So in your inbox, if you don't see...
In the beginning, it was on the rise.
No, it happens. Sometimes you never know these email IDs. I don't know how they are very funny. Sometimes even regular mails end up in the spam. So if you don't get it, point number one is you check in the... Because I myself get notifications. I have also enrolled as a student.
Yeah,
so
that's what I got the information.
Yeah. Kindly, Nam dhatu, is it parasmai? Is it atmane?
Parasmai pade.
Parasmai. So, vartamana kale rupani vadati va?
Namati, namataha, namanti, namasi, namatha, namatha, namami, namavaha, namamaha.
Samyak. Langi?
Vocal. Anamat, anamatam, anaman. Anamha, anamatam, anamata, anamam, anamava, anamava, ma.
Samyak. Dhanyawadaha. Any doubts that you have that you wanted to raise or?
No.
Okay. Kindly keep yourself muted, please.
Yeah, please, madam. What happened, please, if you can find out.
I'll do that, but from my from your end, I would also request you to make it a point to check your spam folder also. Sometimes that happens. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. Tejas Mahoday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So dhav dhatu, is it parasmai? Is it atmane?
Parasmai padi.
Yeah, it is parasmai. Actually, now dhav dhatu is interesting, Tejas, because there is an atmane for the form also for dhav, but you have not been covered. That atmane form is not covered in the Pravesha syllabus. In Pravesha, we are only learning the parasmai form, which is why I will only ask you to recite the parasmai form. But for your information, it is an ubhayapadi dhatu. It does have an atmane form also. Okay? Just for information. So we will go with the parasmai forms of dhav dhatu as of now. Yeah. So, So dhav dhatu. Yeah. Vartamana kala rupani vadatu.
Yes, ma'am. Dhavati, dhavatah, dhavanti, dhavasi, dhavatah, dhavatha, dhavami, dhavavaha, dhavamaha.
Uttamam, Tejas. Langi Rupani api vadatu.
अधावत् अधावताम् अधावन् अधावः अधावतम् अधावत अधावम् अधावाव अधावाम.
Samichinam. Uttama. Samyak asti. Mute yourself. Yeah. Dhanyavadaha. Mute yourself, please. Anyone else who's not attempted so far, please raise your hands. I'm trying to get as many people to say it aloud as possible. Some hands get lowered after a point. So I'd request you to please keep your hands raised so that I can call. Yeah. Fran Aguilera.
Namaskara.
Namaskara. So this is Vand is the dhatu. Is it Parasmai? Is it Atmane?
Atmanepadi.
Atmane Samichinam. Present tense form, please. Vartamane Lati Rupani Vadatu.
Bandate, bandete, badante. Sorry. Bandate, bandete, bandante, bandase, bandete, bandatwe, bande, bandavahe, bandamahe.
Samichinam. Langi Rupani.
Avandata, avandetam, avandanta, avandatha, avandetham, avandatvam, avande, avandavahi, avandamahi.
Uttamam. Uttamam Mahoday. It's very well said. You've memorized the forms? Have you memorized the forms?
Some a little bit.
Extremely good. Extremely good attempt. Extremely good attempt. So it'll help. Memorizing always will help because as we go forward, it'll become easy for us to write, which is why I am requesting all students to memorize. Anyone else who hasn't attempted so far, kindly come forward so that we get a good practice. Sharada Devi. Sharada Devi.
Yes, ma'am, I am saying that. Tishta, tishtati, tishtatah, tishtanti, tishtasi, tishtatah, tishtata, tishtami, tishtavah, tishtamaha.
Okay, 2 feedbacks. Madhyama Purushaha. Okay, the Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam form. Tishthatha, tishtatha. The Mahaprana has to be heard clearly. Uttama Purusha Ekavachana. Tishtami. So it went like Tishtami. So be careful because the meaning changes with the Rasva Ikara and Didya Ikara in Sanskrit.
Okay, ma'am.
So be very careful when there is a Rasva, pronounce it as Rasva itself. Sometimes the gender will also change. So many things will happen. Yeah. Past tense forms, please.
Tishtata, tishtat, tishtata.
Atishtat. Akara asti, kalu?
Atishtat, atishtatam, atishtat, atishtan, atishtata, atishtaha, atishtatam, atishtam, atishtata, atishtam, atistava, atistama.
So please practice this. So sometimes what happens is when we say it orally, it really doesn't register in the mind. So one of the things that you could try doing is writing down. So you read it aloud and write it down.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Very good attempt. Very good attempt.
Thank you.
Dhanyavad. Badh is the next one. I'll look at questions in a little bit. Anyone else who's not attempted, please come forward. Those who've not attempted so far. Okay, fine. Yeah, Padmaji, you want to attempt again?
Yes, Ragini.
Yeah, Badh.
Badhate, Atmanepadi.
Yeah, that's a good way of remembering, right? Yes. Vartamane Rupani.
Badhate, Badhete, Badhante, Badhase, Badhethe, Badhadve, Badhe, Badhavahe, Badhamahe.
Bhutakale.
abadhata, abadhetam, abadhanta, abadhataha, abadhetam, abadhanta, abadandvam, abadadvam, abadadvam, abadhe, abadhavahi, abadhamahi.
Yes. Try to observe the pattern. There is a pattern to the words. If you kind of track the pattern, it will become easier to memorize it. Yeah.
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavada. Kindly mute yourself, please. Yeah. Sarita ji.
Namaste.
Namaste. So, gr is the dhatu. Gila is the form that you're familiar with in Pravesha textbook. There is a story where this form gila you will see, to swallow. But please remember, this particular verb has two forms, gira and gila. Both of them mean to swallow. But what you will be learning in Pravesha is only gila, as in gila. So that is why I wrote that. Do you know whether it's parasmay or atmane?
I'm not sure. I think it's either ubhaypadi or parasmaypadi.
No, it's not ubhayapadi. It is parasmay only. Gilati is the form. Yeah. It also has a form girati or gilati. But girati you have not learned, so we are not covering that. We will only cover gilati over here. And one of the stories, one of the katha has this word, which is why I took it up. It's a non-standard word, but I just took a chance. Yeah. Vartamana?
Okay. So, gilati, gilataha, gilanti, gilasi, gilatha, gilatha, gilami, gilavaha, gilamaha.
Samyak. Bhute? Sarita ji, I'm not able to hear you.
Agilat. Now you can hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Agilat, agilatam, agilan, agilaha, agilatam, agilata, agilam, agilava, agilama.
Yeah. So this agilam comes somewhere, which is why I took that. Yeah. Right. Dhanyavadaha. Good attempt. I wasn't expecting.
Pronunciation was okay?
Yes. Okay. Next, Dhanyavada. Kindly keep yourself muted. Pricha is the next one. Vatsala ji, would you like to attempt it?
Yes, I would like to try.
Is it parasmay or is it atmane?
It is prichati, so it is parasmaypadi.
Yes, good guess. So, Vartamane, Rupani, Vadatu?
Prichati, prichataha, prichanti. Prichasi, prichata, prichata. Prichami, prichataha, prichata. Prichami, prichavaha, prichamaha.
Samyak. Bhute, Rupani Katham?
Aprichat, aprichatam, aprichan, aprichaha, apricham, aprichata. Aprichatam, aprichat, apricham. Aprichata, sorry, there I always get confused.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. It's tough. Yeah.
Apricham, aprichava, aprichama.
Yeah. So it's very, very common to get confused with especially in the past tense, to get confused between Prathama Purusha Ekavachana and Madhyama Purusha Bahuvachana. It's a very common confusion. So don't worry about it. You're not alone.
I have one question.
Yes.
This the top we write bhute. What does bhute means?
In the past.
Okay. No, bhute lang lakara means so the whole word means
in the sense of past. To be more specific, The reason
Acha.
why I wrote it as bhute is because when you learn, see, you're going to very soon learn vibhaktis. When you start learning vibhaktis, you will understand why I have written it. I have written it in Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachanam because what I want to communicate is in the sense of.
Okay. Because the question when we had in the first question that this word was not there, so I was wondering where this word came from. So that's why.
Yeah. Right. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly
Thank you.
mute yourself, please. Yes. Anyone else who's not attempted so far, please come forward. A reason is it's good practice. So. Lakshmi Ramasubramaniam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Bodha.
Bodha.
Is it? Yeah. Bodh is Parasmay. So, yeah. Lati, Rupani.
Lakara, Rupani. Bodhati. Bodhataha.
It is one second. It is Bodhayati. Yeah.
Alpaprana.
No, Bodhayati. There is a year here.
Yeah. It is plus aya. Okay. That is, I forgot.
Bodhayati is the form, not Bodhati.
Okay. Bodhayati. Bodhayataha. Bodhayanti. Bodhayasi. Bodhayataha. Bodhayata. Bodhayami. Bodhayavaha. Bodhayamaha.
So that you have to pronounce it as Mahaprana. It is
Mahaprana.
Yeah.
Bodhayata. Bodhayami. Bodhayavaha.
Yeah. Now past tense forms. Past tense forms.
Abodhayat. Abodhayatam. Abodhayan. Abodhayaha. Abodhayatam. Abodhayata. Abodhayam. Abodhayava. Abodhayama.
Samyak. Okay. Everywhere your dhakaras sounding as alpaprana. So universally across, you have to work on your pronunciations. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Last this thing of the day. Dr. Vijayalakshmi.
Ram Bagini.
Ram. Iksha dhatu. Is it parasmay? Is it atmane?
Atmanepadi.
Atmanepadi. So what is the present tense form? Vartamane rupani vadatu.
Ikshate, ikshete, ikshante, ikshate, ikshethe, ikshadve, ikshe, ikshavahe, ikshamahe.
Yeah. Bhute janati va rupani?
I asked somebody and they told me, please correct me if it's wrong. So I'll check it out. Aikshata, aikshetam, aikshanta, aikshataha, aikshetham, aikshadvam, aikshe, aikshavahi, aikshamahi.
So this is a tough one. It's a non-standard dhatu. It has its own this thing. But I just took a chance and said there are some people who have done Pravesha and revising. So let me just take a chance and put it. I shouldn't have probably, but no harm in learning a little more than what is in the textbook, which is why I put it. Yes, Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana form should be Aikshathaha.
Yeah,
so there was a slight difference in pronunciation. That's why I corrected it. It is, if many of you would have not got it, don't worry. This form is a different form. I just put it because you see this Aikshata very often in a whole lot of granthas. If you're doing Bhagavad Gita chanting and all that. So I just put it just for that, so that you are able to identify. Dhanyavadaha, Dr. Vijayalakshmi. Kindly mute yourself.
I wanted to tell you also that in Priyaji's group, we discussed this. So we got
right.
So it
Right,
is helping us a lot here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's always good. Learning together will always help. a lot of self-study, a lot of learning together. It's a combination of both that will help. Yeah, Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself, please. I'll go to the question answers. Exercises on 1 second. Page 35. Huh? 1 second. I thank you for reminding me because I don't remember it at all. Page 35. Yes, Chayaji. So here in page 35, okay, there is a problem because Vayam Kim Kurmaha, and then you will, you don't know whether you have to write Yam or Vayam. Okay, so this particular exercise on page 34 and 35, which is section 5 of the Abhyasa, okay, they have given one example. Tvam Kim Karoshi, Aham Pathami. So what are you doing? I am doing this. But then in the answer key at certain places, they have not retained that you and I. They have given the answer in the same this thing. Don't worry too much about it. These kind of questions will certainly not come in your paper. This is more to understand if somebody is asking you, what are you doing? And you answer, I am doing so and so. So that is why that Tvam and Aham, or say Yuvam and Avam, that's the reason why they've given it. But there are certain places where there is a slight bit of confusion with reference to the answer key. Don't worry too much about it. It will not come. Praharati is not to carry. Okay, Padmaji is asking whether Praharati is to carry. Praharati means to attack. So please be careful. Just because we put one pra or a or something, the meaning will not be same. Sometimes prefixes will give you same meaning. Sometimes prefixes will give you opposite meaning. Sometimes prefixes will enhance the meaning. So different things happen. Prahara. Remember the word prahara. Prahara means to attack, right? So Praharati does not mean to carry. Praharati means to attack or kill or something like that. Okay, that sense. It is a sense of an aggression, so hara, this khrudatu is very versatile. So a lot of changes that happen in that. Yeah. You will learn about upasargas, I think, in lesson 7 or 8, I don't remember. So that will be covered then. Don't worry about it. Just wait. Okay. Just wait. Bhuteya. What is I just think 3 more doubts. Yes, Jyotsnaji, please ask your doubts. Let's cover the doubts now, because we will have a little more intensive exercises as we are going forward. So whatever doubts you have, kindly unmute yourself. Are you able to unmute yourself, Jyotsnaji? I don't see you. I'll lower all the hands and I'll request only Jyotsnaji to raise her hand. Jyotsnaji, can you please raise your hand now? Because I'm not able to see you. Yes, Jyotsnaji, I've allowed you to speak. Please ask your doubts.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, again, silly doubt. Ma'am, you said last time pathati and pathayati. One pathati is to read, and pathayati, Brinda ma'am said to teach, but I'm guessing it might be to make one read. Is it?
It's, to teach is also there.
Okay.
You don't have very rigid, so pathayati is to teach, pathayati is to make one read. Both meanings are there.
Okay. Because in the book it says bodhayashyati for teaches.
There are many words, no? See, Samskrita Bhashayam, Shabda Daridryam Kadapi Nasti Khalo. There is no dearth of alternative options in Sanskrit Bhasha. So bodhayati is also there, pathayati is also there, shikshayati is also there. So many words for teaching.
Okay. Ma'am, so by the same logic, so pathati, pathayati, so then, but dushayati or kshalayati.
No. Don't extend the rule. Don't extend the rule. Okay. It's too early for you to extend the rule.
Okay.
There are, like, you have bodhayati. So does that mean that there is a bodhati? No.
Similarly, shalayati also, right?
There is an inherent yakara in it.
Kshala dhatu, kshalayati.
Yes.
Bodha dhatu, bodhayati. So for pathayati, what is the dhatu, ma'am?
Patha dhatu only. like I said, there is a lot to be learned.
Okay,
There
I
is a
will
lot
leave it.
to be learned. So don't generalize or extrapolate the concepts that we are teaching. We are following, point number 1 is we are following the Pravesha textbook.
Yes.
And each concept is going to be opened out one step at a time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
just restrict it to those dhatus which you are learning now.
Yes,
As
ma'am.
you go forward and forward, you will learn about many more forms, many more suffixes. So there is a lot to learn. There are 4
Yes, ma'am.
levels.
True.
Pravesha, Parichaya, Shiksha, and Kovida. The climb
Yes,
is
ma'am.
going to get tougher as you move forward.
Yes,
So let's take it one step.
Yeah, I'll just leave it be, ma'am. It's just that I tried to apply
You
the
have
rule
to
and I
leave
got
it at that.
confused. Yeah.
You have to leave it at that. Otherwise, you'll end up confusing your
Ma'am,
concept.
it'll unravel slowly. I get you, ma'am.
Yeah. Next,
Next
what
one
is your
is
next question?
you just like you said ikshate. I was when I saw this in the Abhyasa, I was just similarly thinking, what about uhate and utsahate? What is the lung for that?
Don't get into the forms right now.
Okay.
Don't get into the forms right now. There is a resource for you to check up, but there is this website called ashtadhyayi.com where there is a section called Dhatu Pathaha, where all the dhatus are listed and their forms are listed in various lakaras. Now, you don't even know what is the meaning of different lakaras at this point of time.
Yeah.
The Dasha lakaras will be taught in lesson 10. So, which is why I am not going there and I'm not doing that. There is this dhatu, there were some links that were given, right? For dhatu parichaya and all that.
Yeah.
There are 2000 plus dhatus, Jyotsna
No,
ji.
ma'am, just like you explained for agachati and anayati and
No,
ikshate,
let's
I was
not go
wondering
there.
uhate. Okay.
No, don't wonder now.
Okay.
It will, again, there's a process of unraveling.
Fine, I'll leave it, ma'am.
Let's
I'll
take
leave
it one step at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take it
Ma'am, in page 58, it says padona shat, and then otherwise you say shadvadan, da instead of ta, right? It is shadvadane, right? Or shadvadanam.
See, there are sandhi rules that will govern the spelling, especially for shad. Because the pratipadikam is shash, it will become shat some places, it will become shad some places. So at this point of time, just memorize the forms. When you get to shiksha level, you will be doing vyanjana sandhis, and that is when you will understand why is it shat at places, why is it shad at places.
So for now, if any
don't
time
want to overload information at this point of time.
Sure.
The way to learn any language is to first take in what is being given and then to memorize. So accept the forms as they are. Even when we learnt English for the first time or our own mother tongue, we just accepted the words as, it's just that we were very young, so we don't remember the learning process. But the way to learn is you just accept it as it is, and then slowly the meanings come.
So shadvadane everywhere, no ma'am? It's da and not ta.
Yeah, some places it is shat and some places it is shad. You, at this point of time, please memorize it the way it is.
For time, it's padona shadvadane, right? And padona shadvadanam. Okay.
Yeah. At this point of time, just take the word forms as they are, which is what I'm saying over and over again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
I saw the shut in one place and got confused, so I just thought
it is shut at certain places. Wherever it is given as shut, please memorize it.
Okay.
And because I cannot overload theory at this point of time.
No, ma'am. It will be difficult at this. Just that
trust me, Jyotsna Bhagini. Pravesha itself is an exhaustive syllabus.
Yeah, I'm already feeling it.
You have not even, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes,
there's a huge amount to be studied, which is why I am imploring to all the students to take 2 steps, take it easy and go with the flow. It is because you will end up, when you learn the wrong thing, unlearning is a bigger task.
True.
So, yeah. Any other doubts or
Last
queries?
one, ma'am. Kshipati. What is the meaning of kshipati? Ghate kim kshipati?
To throw.
Throw. Okay.
throw.
Thank you, ma'am. That's about
Khipa
it.
is to throw. Yeah.
Okay.
Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let me just see the Q&A for the one last time. Kindly mute yourself, Jyotsna ji, if it's done. Let me see if there are any other. Yes, Padmavati ji wanted to. Sandeep Joshi, we will not get into this. Why is it Aikshat? These are certain. This is not just simple Guna rule and this rule. There are many rules. So do not go by this, the Sandhi rules. There are a whole lot of other rules also. It is not happening because of a Guna Sandhi. Please understand. Okay, there are, and again, there are many other Sandhis beyond what is there in the Samskrita Bharati syllabus also. So, Aikshat is, at this point of time, please take the form as it is. That is my request to you. Padmavati ji, you wanted to say something? Yeah, you had a doubt. Yeah, let's quickly do it before we close.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I had a doubt that Abhyaya, Antaha and Behihi, which vibhakti we will use? The cat
you
is
will not
inside the
use,
home.
first of all, we've not covered Avyayas till now, no?
No.
Brindaji is not covered Avyayas.
No, madam, because I am going to write the exam tomorrow, I have a small doubt. That is why I want
Avyaya
to
means what? What is the meaning of Avyaya?
No, no,
Avyaya is that which will not change with the vibhaktis.
Vibhakti, yes.
Tadrisham trishu lingeshu. Remember? Vachaneshu cha vibhakti. Ha. So, yat na vyeti tad avyayam. The one which does not change with the vibhakti and the vachana or the linga is called avyayam. Na vyayati. That is why avyaya. So the question of it be what it will be in what vibhakti itself is not there, no?
No. My question is, cat is inside the house. How will Marjaraha Grahasya Antaha Asti?
That's it.
Then
Bahihi Asti. That's it. You will not. It is called Avyaya because it does not require a vibhakti. Like Vriddha Shanaihi Chalati. Okay. Diva, what would you say? Nakshatrani Diva na drishyante.
Na drishyate.
Na drishyate. Okay. Na drishyante also. All of us, right? So, Diva, it's an avyaya. So you will use it as it is.
Pocket, what is the Samskrita padam for pocket? Koshaha, is it right?
Koshaha, yeah. Koshaha is a place where you store. A storage space is kosha.
Money falls from the pocket. How will I translate? Koshat dhanam patanti.
Koshat bahihi. Yeah, dhanam patati. Dhanam means ekavachanam. So dhanam patati. Oh, okay. Dhanam patati.
Okay.
Or rupyakani patanti. If in case you want to say rupees or something.
Behihi means
outside.
The cat is outside. Like grahat behihi, the marjaraha grahat behihi asti. Is it correct?
Grihat bahi atati say no. It's roaming around outside those.
Yes. Okay.
See, small nuances, but you can add quality to your sentence.
Yes. Thank you.
Marjaraha grihat bahi atati. It's roaming around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions as far as your exam tomorrow?
No, nothing is coming to my memory.
Don't worry. You already studied. It will come to you when you see the paper. Don't get nervous. Drink a lot of water. Sleep early. That's one tip I will give you. Sleep early. Don't sit late. And don't open your book from now till the exam. Last minute, don't open. It will only make you think you've forgotten more.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Shubham Bhavatu. Dhanyavada. Let me just say the closing prayers. Kindly mute yourself, please. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha. Atra sthagayamaha. Prashnaha kim santi? That's all. So Sandeep Mahoday, your doubt I cannot answer at Pravesha level. the bandwidth is not there really to answer it. In terms of what Iksh and Aiksha, like I said, take the form as it is. Yeah. So we will close the class here. The numbers, because many people were asking for our numbers.